Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 231, I believe. On the topic of college football today, round one semifinal of the Rose Bowl between Notre Dame and Alabama. Alabama smoked them, but that's not going to be the point of this video. The point of this video is going to be talking about what in the world has happened to Clemson. Right now, the game is still on. I believe there's about 12 minutes left in the game. They are down 49-21, and in every aspect of this football game, Clemson has been dominated, and it hurts because a lot of us, including myself, discredited Ohio State because of their season. They were only 6-0. They hadn't played many games. Justin Fields really struggled in the Big Ten Championship against Northwestern. So what does he come out and do tonight? Well, Justin Fields has 5 touchdowns. 2 or 3 of which have been over 50 yards. Trey Sermon has 150-plus yards and a touchdown at least. This Ohio State is absolutely smoking this Clemson Tigers team. And just the million-dollar question is, what has happened to Clemson? Well, prior to this game by about a week, Clemson knew they were going to be playing without their offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott. He is obviously a key part of that team. Any good offense is led by the offensive coordinator. I mean, he's the brain of the offense. He calls the plays, whatever. Missing him, interim guy. Obviously, I'm sure he's high caliber, but he's just not clicking. This Clemson offense is not clicking at all. Just miscues between Lawrence, his receivers, between Lawrence and Etienne. I mean, for you guys that are watching, I know there was that one play, I think late in the second quarter, maybe in the third quarter, whatever, where Trevor Lawrence goes to play action pass. He fakes to the wrong side. He fakes to his left-hand side. Etienne's on the right. Just an example of this offense for Clemson is just not in sync, and you don't win football games that way. And on the other side of the ball, you got Ohio State. Their offense has never looked this good all year. This is by far the best team they've played all year, and this is probably not one of their biggest point margins, but they're going to win this game by 20 points. They're going to win this game by 3 scores against the best opponent they've had all season. So that's just crazy. But like I said, Justin Fields and this Ohio State team, their offense is looking amazing, but the most impressive part is their defense. Their front is just shutting down Etienne. I mean, just absolutely manhandling the Clemson front. Their secondary is not allowing Trevor Lawrence to get the ball downfield, or at least not allowing him to complete the ball downfield. Obviously, secondary can't stop the pass, but they can certainly defend it once it's in the air. And that's exactly what they're doing. And then on the other side of the ball, Clemson secondary is just totally getting beat. Chris Olave has 2 touchdowns tonight for Ohio State, like I said. And then Trey Sermon is just walking all over him. Perhaps one of the biggest losses for Clemson, if not Tony Elliott at offensive coordinator, was James Scalzi at middle linebacker. Second year in a row he's been ejected to targeting. He hit Justin Fields earlier in the game. I think Justin Fields, if I don't know much about medical stuff, but I think he's going to end up having broken ribs. Justin Fields playing through it, still playing well, but James Scalzi hurt him. But Scalzi got ejected, and he's essentially the Trevor Lawrence of their defense. He's the leader of that defense, so without him, they're just not the same, and since then they've given up 21 points. Even when Scalzi was in the game, don't get me wrong, Ohio State was pretty much dominating, but once he left, it was all over. So tough to see him get ejected, but I think it was a reasonable targeting call. His head was down. But I mean, this Clemson team, man, this is a team that I liked winning it all. This is a guy in Trevor Lawrence that we all expect to go number 1 overall, but he's not playing like that. His offense isn't clicking, which just goes to show when his offensive coordinator is gone, he's not the same. And when he goes, obviously, to the league, he's not going to have an offensive coordinator he's familiar with. So is he going to be good? Is he going to be a bust? I don't know. This isn't the Trevor Lawrence I expected to see. I missed the Trevor Lawrence that was a true freshman, beating Alabama by 20 points in a national championship. But that guy is simply gone at the moment. Etienne, like I said, not doing well. And it's not like... you could say he's struggling, but in my opinion, I think it's just that Ohio State front defense is just totally manhandling every play. They can't be playing better. Ryan Day, Ohio State head coach, has obviously done a great job with this team, even at 6-0. They're about to be 7-0 and winning the biggest game of the season so far. So again, this Clemson team, Clemson fans, I'm sorry. This is a disappointment, and for me, I don't give a damn about Clemson. I like Trevor Lawrence. So I'm sorry, this is a disappointment. Ohio State, at this point, how many people can still talk shit about saying they're not worth it? They're 6-0 after this game. They're going to be the real deal. Will they beat Alabama? No. I think Alabama is going to be a two score win over this team. Over the assuming Clemson doesn't come back, Ohio State's still going to get beat by 2 scores by Clemson, I think. Sorry, by Alabama in the national championship. But I mean, the real point of this all is just what happened to Clemson. Like I said, I think ultimately losing their offensive coordinator was crushing. Just get that offense out of sync, and an offense out of sync doesn't score points. And then to lose James Skalski early in the game, that was the nail in the coffin for me. But this Clemson